movie called Trouble Bound. It's got one of my favorite actors. You may know him, you may not. Michael Madsen. Trouble Bound is about a guy named Harry who just got out of the clink, and a couple other stooges are playing poker. He's winning. He's winning a lot of money, and Billy Bob Thornton puts up some car keys and says, "Alright, this has got to be worth at least $5,000. I'm putting this in the stake." So, what happens? Michael Madsen wins, and he gets out of there with a brand new car. Well, a used car, pretty much. But still, a car that works, and it's pretty nice. Nobody just gets a car that easy. And the real reason they kind of give him the car is they put a dead body in the back that they want to get rid of. And they figured, this is an ex-con, he's going to get pulled over eventually, or he'll just do something stupid, and he's got a dead body in his car, he's just going back to jail. Little do they know that there's money hidden in this guy's, there's drugs hidden in this guy's jacket, and he swallowed a key right before they killed him to a safe that has a bunch of money in it. At the same time, we got Patricia Arquette, who, by the way, does an excellent job in this movie.
Back up! Back up! Don't do this. Down. Get down! I never liked you, Danny. You were always mean to me.
Sorry. Kid, this is not the time. We gotta leave.
Danny, kiss my toe.
Kid.
Kiss my fucking toe right now.
Don't do this.
Kiss my feet, Danny!
Good idea.
Lick.
Kid, come on.
Let's go. We gotta get out of this town, Harry.
The first time we see Patricia Arquette, she's poisoning a drink that she's about to bring this guy that's playing at the tables, which we later find out is a mob boss. She's trying to kill this guy because he's responsible for her father's death, who is another mob boss. But her family is kind of against it because they're trying to keep the peace, and they say that there's rules and things you gotta abide by when you're in the mafia, and she just has to stick with it. She doesn't want to do that. She wants to fucking kill this guy. But of course, he hands the drink off to one of his pallies, and that guy drinks it, and that guy's fucking dead. So right off the bat, they make it a little bit difficult to completely sympathize with this character, because she just killed somebody that she had no beef with whatsoever, just by accident. I mean, after she put the pill in the drink, and she saw the guy take it, she could have done something. She could have, like, stopped him and been like, "Hey, you got the wrong drink. Let me take that back. Let me get you a new one. I didn't put enough non-poison in there." Anything. But she just let the guy die, so you're kind of off the bat like, what the hell? After she tries to kill this mob boss, she gets picked up by a couple of members of her own family, which is now run by her aunt. I can't remember the name. I think it's like Mama Cacciatore. They have orders to bring her back and make sure she doesn't do this kind of crazy shit anymore. They stop off at a bar. She's got to get away from him somehow. And Harry's also in the bar. And they look at each other, and she gives him like a kind of like sexy, kind of like, "Hey, how you doing?" look. But instead of talking to him, she talks to a couple of soldiers that are sitting right next to her and goes, "Hey, I don't really want to get into things with you, but these guys were talking about how all soldiers are just big pussies." And of course, the soldiers get pissed off, beat the shit out of the goons, and she runs off. At the same time, Michael Madsen sees this, and he's getting beer bottles thrown at him and everything, so he leaves, sees her trying to break into his car. "Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's my car, you know." She convinces him to give her a ride, Harry's just, his whole plan, and the plan that he tells his criminal friends before he takes off, is he's going to find a nice high stakes poker game and win enough money that he can just retire and sit out the rest of his days and do nothing. Just sounds pretty good. So the girl's kind of being a little cocky asshole and trying to psychoanalyze Harry and say, like, yeah, you probably grew up in a broken home, your dad was an alcoholic, and he immediately stops the car, tosses her bag out, whoa, and just points to the middle of the desert. He's like, get the fuck out. I was like, holy shit. That is awesome. These two don't take any shit off each other. After he tells her to get out, she's like, fine, fuck you. I was gonna say that you were a nice guy. Okay, get back in. Kat's the one that actually discovers the corpse in the car, and she doesn't really say anything about it because she's thinking, like, did Harry kill this guy or what? And so they have another big fight about, there's a dead dude in the trunk. He thinks that she did it. She thinks that he had something to do with it. And then they both realize that neither of them had anything to do with it. They go out, and there's some abandoned junkyard. So they put the body on a hydraulic skid loader, just lay it down on a pallet. The girl gets behind the wheel of the thing and cranks it, and they just lift the pallet all the way up. Like, I don't know, like 10, 11 feet. They just... It's just like, now you can't see it. It's up in the air, so yeah, you can't see it. So they get rid of the body, not knowing what's on it or not really caring. And they end up getting grabbed by the guys that gave Harry the body in the first place. So they force them to go back, open the guy's suit, look through it, and they find the drugs. But they don't find the key. But right when they're about to kill Harry and Kat, these other guys come out of nowhere and they start shooting everything up. They get away, they're driving around. Another thing about this movie, there's a lot of cheesy Las Vegas grind, smooth jazz, snap your finger music to it. A bad soundtrack can rot a movie big time, but thankfully this movie is good enough that it's gonna get to you, but hopefully it'll roll off after the first couple of... She decides to tell him about a very high stakes poker game in the area where you can win a lot of money, and all the other players are just basically letting this guy win because he's a mob boss. Of course, the mob boss that she's trying to kill. But Harry doesn't know that. She doesn't end up shooting the mob boss like she wants, but she blows his hand off, and then they gotta take off because she ran out of bullets. The very next day, or of course the very next morning, she gets kidnapped by the goons. Mama Kanjaridi's goons. And taken back, possibly to be killed. No, definitely to be killed, because Mama Stacciatulli talked to Bob Maslioni, and the guy got his fingers blown off, and now he's pissed off. He's like, something's gotta be done. You gotta take care of this. Harry's still stuck with the dead body. Once Harry's criminal friends got what they needed from the body, they forced Harry to put it back in the trunk and take it. So now he still has the body that he's got to take care of. He's about to bury the body. He takes it out of the car, and the body falls over and pukes. And it pukes out the key. And finally, he sees this key that he knows goes to a safe that he knows has a lot of money in it. So now he's got this sort of thing going on in his head. Like, what am I going to do? And this is when the movie kind of gets into really weird territory. For a second, he's driving down the road, he's talking to himself, and all of a sudden, the body in the back seat comes alive and starts talking to him as his conscience and starts saying, "What are you doing, Harry? What about the girl? What about Kat?" He's like, "Well, she can take care of herself, you know, she's a tough girl and everything." I was thinking, if anything, if this turned into some like crazy Weekend at Bernie's 2 shit, I would have to turn it off. But it didn't. So now Kat's kidnapped, about to maybe be killed. Harry's got the key. He decides he's got to go after Kit because he likes her, even though they give each other shit all the time. Overall, the movie's not such an original concept, with people on the run from the mob, dead bodies that people have to get rid of, large amounts of money. It's not an original idea, and I realize that. And the music's kind of really cheesy, and there are some points, like when Madsen talks to the dead guy, which are on the edge of unbearable. But it's so cool and so laid back and jazzy that you kind of just roll with it. And I found myself just laughing out loud at some of the lines that Patricia Arquette and Michael Madsen throw at each other. Just the fact that they don't take any shit from each other, and it works. It works so well that you like these characters a lot, even though they're super flawed and a little bit shitty. And so this movie was directed by Jeffrey Reiner. He's done a lot of stuff, mostly TV lately, but he's still working a lot. And he's actually going to be doing one of the episodes on the new sci-fi series called Philip K. Dick's Electric Dreams. I'm a huge fan of Philip K. Dick. It's one of my favorite weirdo authors, and it just really inspired, awesome writer. And this series looks really, really good. So I really want to check this out, and I think you guys should too. But he's going to be directing one of those episodes, so that makes me even more excited, because this was really well directed, exciting, fun movie. So thank you very much for watching B Movie Euphoria's review of Trouble Bound. Check it out. It's worth it.